I want it to be on the record. Tiny tacos from Jack in the Box suck.
No, they're good, dude.
So
I love the tiny tacos.
They don't include the lettuce. They don't include anything, dude.
I don't want the lettuce. I just want the meat and cheese.
But they don't include the cheese.
Yeah,
there's no cheese in those things. There's no cheese in those things.
There's no.
Well, they try to compensate with that lime sauce, whatever the hell that is.
It's so squishy that I don't miss the cheese. I guess
I need the cheese.
I like it.
Well, in any event.
Yeah, we needed to start with that very important announcement from Ricardo.
Yeah. Well, I have another announcements. I have.
Okay. What will they be?
It's very important. People have been wanting us to talk about this.
Okay.
It's apropos to the time.
Okay.
Of what happened last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Here are my thoughts about last week.
He wants to be heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm excited that Tostada's back. I'm talking about fucking Taco Bell's nostalgia menu. Yeah, that's right, fuckers. The Tostada's back.
You know what I hate? The fact that it won't stick around. Everything is just temporary. I'm just sick of. I'm sick of it.
What's on the nostalgia menu? I haven't heard about this.
So it's the Tostada. Mm-hmm. It's the green sauce burrito.
With that said, I got my Mexi Melt.
The Mexi Melt too.
What is the Mexi Melt? I don't know what that is.
It's just ground beef, their triple cheese, and pico de gallo in a tortilla. That's all it is.
In a tortilla, like a quesadilla
flour tortilla. No.
Yeah, like a flour tortilla. It's
like a soft taco.
Over?
Like a soft taco.
It's like a fancy soft taco without any lettuce.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
So I'm just saying, like, it
was just comfort from when I was a kid. Yeah. Now it costs $3 goddamn. So
yeah.
How much did it cost back in the day?
It's like 70 cents.
Oh, and the original Gordita Supreme is back as well. The caramel apple empanada is back.
Oh, I remember that. That shit was
good. I'm just saying, dude, it's the best of times and it's the worst of times.
Oh my God, I used to get the caramel apple empanada all I my God.
I have no nostalgia for Taco Bell at all. I just never ate it growing up.
So good.
You know what? You guys are making me angry again, dude. I was angry last week. I was fine, and now I'm angry.
We're not showing Taco Bell the reverence it deserves.
Come on,
we're sorry.
Show some fucking respect, dude. Put some respect in your mouth about Taco Bell, dude. Get your name out of
Well, in any case, let us move to March 1st of 1993 when Birthright.
Day that will live in infamy, dude. March 1st.
That's when the second episode
later.
Of the thing we watched, Birthright Part 2 came out. That is a week after. It actually is the first time in a little while where we haven't alternated between DS9 and TNG. So, Dan, do we have time to finally go around the sun again? That's crazy. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been around the sun. So first off, a bit of bad news. On February 26th, in the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil to date, a truck bomb exploded in a parking garage at nowhere else but the World Trade Center, killing 6 and injuring 1,000. Terrorists really hated that building, man.
Wow.
I mean, it's tall. It's like it's like you aim for the tallest guy in the room.
Wait, can you restate? You said how many people were killed?
It killed 6 and injured 1,000.
Oh God, I thought you said it killed 1,000 people. I was like, wow,
that'd be a fucking crazy bomb. Holy shit.
But I mean, injuring 1,000 is still pretty that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of debris.
That's terrible.
That was a lot of debris, man.
I have something to say about this real quick. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
As someone who lives on the internet most of the time, you know how we said like after 9/11 we're like, let's never forget.
Yeah,
of course
never forget.
We definitely forgot, right?
Yeah,
we definitely forgot. And then whatever young people are right now, what are they? The Gen
Alphas,
whatever Alpha at
this
point.
Yeah, whatever. Like high school to college age people are alive right now. There was a lot of fucking 9/11 fucking jokes, dude.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's a thing.
And I was like, you know what? Still didn't forget though. You know,
they're remembering.
Yeah, in a way, in a horrible way, but they're not forgetting.
Yeah.
So
it's weird.
Yeah.
Was there like a time in like the 70s when people started making jokes about like Pearl Harbor? You know, like Did that ever happen?
Like, I feel like people have been making jokes at the Japanese's expense about Pearl Harbor since it happened.
Yes. Well, yeah. Also, this is in the 60s.
Like, what do you mean the Japanese? Like they were incompetent?
Yeah.
Well, there's eventual fates of World War II and everything involved.
I got it.
Yeah. Well, there's been things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I forgot about that. I did forget about that.
I mean, tasteless jokes have been around since forever.
But was it done in a mean-spirited way, or was it done in like an edgelordy way, like people do today, where it's not necessarily mean-spirited?
Edgelord is the first time I've heard that word today.
Oh,
do you hear it like a lot?
No, today is the first time I've heard it, and I've heard it twice today.
Wait, where'd you hear it from?
So I was talking to my cousins today, and they said edgelord, and I was like, what? And then Marvin just said it, and I've never heard the word until
it's
today.
It's not a new term by any means.
Okay.
But now I've heard it twice.
I thought it meant something completely different, by the way.
I don't know what it means. What does it mean?
I thought it meant someone who like is about to come, and then they pull back, and they like edge.
They're very good
edging.
at it.
Yeah, they're edgelords.
No, but then you need to be exceptional at that to be a lord of it.
Yeah, I'm not a good lord at that, dude. I'm just gonna,
Ricardo's not an edgelord.
I'm just gonna jump off that fucking cliff, dude.
I don't know anyone who can be.
What is an edgelord in this context that you use it, Marvin?
Like you're making a joke just to sound edgy. Like there's like
people who make jokes for shock value, or
it's completely ironic. There's no it's a completely apathetic detachment to the subject material. You're doing it just for shock value and because you think it's ironically funny.
Because my first understanding was like, oh, this person must be a master in edging. That was my first. That's why I was confused. And when I heard it earlier today at dinner, I was like, what? But I didn't say anything. And then, I don't know.
You thought it was about edging, about like sex, like a sex thing?
Yeah, but I didn't say anything. Like I let it go,
Yeah.
You let it go quietly.
I let it go, but then you brought it up just now, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like I've never heard that.
Elusive Lord of the Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just had to ask about it. I just had to ask.
I have a thing to say about this edging.
Right.
Okay.
So
what is it, Ricardo?
Well, here's the thing. So there was I want to bring something. It was some comedian was on the Trump thing, the last rally he did, and he did a joke that was like not cool. And then there was a lot of like, from both sides. And I heard something from a comedian that I thought I would never hear it from, like his response to it. And I don't know if it was something he was talking about before or what, but the context of it fit perfectly. And I thought that was awesome. That's a good response, which is that like a lot of comedians will be like, oh, I'm going to see something edgy for the sake of being edgy. Right.
Right.
And then they'll be like, well, you can't get offended at me because I'm just fucking a comedian, I'm just saying it for fun, right? And that's what they hide behind. And I was listening to fucking Anthony Jeselnik, who notoriously makes horrible jokes about like 9/11, about abortions, about everything.
Sure.
And he was saying the point of the comedian making an edgy joke, the best part of it is to say the joke and get away with it. If people are being offended, then you didn't get away with it, and it wasn't a good joke. And
you didn't set up the context.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. I like that notion that like that if the joke is done well and it's really like well written, you can say something horrible and get away with it. That's an edgelord to me. And if you don't jizz, if you just hold
the thing is, an edgelord does not care for the context.
Yeah, then I'm not an edgelord. I like
there are comedians and there are edgelords.
Yeah.
So wait, are you saying that comedians a good joke should offend some people?
No, the opposite. Like
really,
not the opposite, but like
a good joke will make you laugh in spite of the offense.
Exactly. You get away with it. You can get away with the offense because it's funny.
I think the thing that a lot of comedians don't understand is that I'm not a comedian, so I don't fucking
You're
know.
not?
But from what I can
You're funny as hell, dude.
But I think the thing I like the most about certain comedic performances is the sense of empathy they have with their audience as they're performing. Once you make that empathetic connection, you can kind of joke around with them and fuck around with them, and say shit that can be offensive. Like Mark Maron's really good at this. Like he'll go on stage and you'll start talking about how he wants to kill his fucking ex-girlfriend or whatever. But it's in the context of we've both all commiserated about how we know what it's like to be in this awful relationship,
Like so for what it's worth, I can see that humanity in Shane Gillis.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Like Shane Gillis says some really crazy things. Yeah. But I'm like, you won me over already. I'm with you on this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely on the relatable side of things.
Yeah. It's kind of like what's his name? Frank? No, not L. Franklin. I'm thinking of the wrong guy. The guy that was jacking off. The guy that was jacking off in front of people. The comedian.
Louis C.K.
Russell Peters.
I thought,
no.
Oh, you're describing a lot of people. But. No,
Louis C.K.
Because he would do jokes that were like, "Oh fuck, I can't believe he made."
They were really bad, yeah.
But he made you laugh. You know what I mean? And then
he did. But then then we discovered he was actually an awful person.
But that has nothing to do with this. Like, separate that.
I can't.
I'm just telling you.
No, but the thing is, I think that isn't separated because I think
we've talked
he
about
lost a sense of sympathy. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. I'm saying like time travel back to before you knew that.
Oh yeah, before
and you would be like, oh yeah, he's great.
Oh yeah, I loved him. I loved him before all the bullshit came out.
And to me, it hasn't been with Louis C.K. about just that it came out. It's also been about how he then overall reacted to it afterward. Like like his way of trying to recover out of it was just in the worst way.
Leaning into it even more, right?
I just thought so like to me, I'm more of like yes, you did really shit stuff and let's see where you go from here. Oh, you went in a bad place. Okay, well, goodbye. Yeah. That's sort of the way I had viewed it.
Which sucks because I really loved the show, Louis. I thought it was a really good show.
Never saw it.
I never got to start watching it before he got disgraced, so now it feels bad to start.
I really liked it.
There's parts of Louis that I always found really weird. Like, and even when I was like into Louis C.K., I was like, you have this weird obsession with fucking black women. It's like a thing. Like it keeps coming up. Like your ex-wife was secretly black the whole time. There's a whole episode of you fantasizing.
What was up with that though?
I don't know.
Could that be something with you that you secretly love black women?
No, he put that in his show constantly. So I just thought
it's more like looking back, the signs are all there. You know what I mean? Like you realize.
I just thought I was just like, there's this weird objectification of fucking the black lady that was like kind of a thing, right. And like even like
Marvin, name me one Louis that's good. Name me one. I'll wait.
Armstrong?
Yeah, there we go.
He could have sang good, but he was like, yeah. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Sing clearly, goddammit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I can't hear you. What?
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here with that fucking song.
Oh my God.
Dude. Oh God, we got more history to get through.
Oh yeah, this is true.
You sidetracked.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the movie. El Mariachi came out, but who cares?
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm going to go on to what really matters. On the end of February, Bonkers ran a 9-episode preview on the Disney Channel.
Oh, shit.
Because it would debut later for real in October of the same year.
Oh, my God.
Looking into the show, I realized that the broadcast history was a lot more complicated than I realized. But one thing I felt would be worthwhile to debunk is a popular misconception about this show, because it's widely rumored that it was originally supposed to be a series based on Who Framed Roger Rabbit and that the rights didn't go through or something, and all that fell apart.
Yeah.
But it was later confirmed by Greg Wiseman, who was developing a producer on the show, that he was always intended to be his own character. He just drew a lot of inspiration from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but it was never intended to be an actual series above the movie.
Also, it'd be like a completely different premise than from Who Framed.
I mean, it was a tune where humans lived with washed up cartoon stars, and it was lived in Hollywood, and
But wasn't Bonkers like a cop?
He was.
I don't even know what the fuck you guys are talking about, dude.
Anyway, that was a show Greg Wiseman worked on just before he went on to Gargoyles. So that's why
it's exactly the same show.
I thought you meant before he went crazy. Yeah, like, that's the show he went before.
He's a little bit though. He's a little crazy.
I don't know if just for any viewer at home, I don't know if anyone else does this, but in my head, it's easy for me to mess up Bubsy and Bonkers. I don't know if that's for anybody else.
Oh, that's not anywhere close in my head. Oh boy.
All right.
Bubsy's far away, but I don't think about Bubsy until someone mentions him. Go away,
in
Bubsy.
3D. Last one, March 1st, the day that will live in infamy, like Ricardo said. I didn't forget. The newest National Hockey League expansion team in Anaheim, owned by Disney, was officially named after the movie The Mighty Ducks.
Let me tell you something about the Mighty Ducks, dude. I fucking hate that team, dude.
Why? From the movie or the team?
They're in Orange County, dude. In real life. It's just like they're like, oh, we're the best over here. You guys are the best at shit, dude. Fucking baseball team?
I don't know if anyone in Orange County claimed they're the best.
That is horrible, dude. Here's the thing about the Angels, dude. They'll never make the playoffs because they suck, dude. They're like our minor league team. We just poach their fucking players, dude.
Hey, shout outs to the Dodgers. They did it.
Dude. You know what? This proves that this Dodgers win, dude, which I was really excited about. Proves that you can't have anything good without something horrible happening, dude.
That was the equivalent exchange you made.
It also proves the HoloLive VTuber buff.
It's true. Yeah, dude. A lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, the HoloLive is why they won." Because
you know what? I'm
ladies and gentlemen,
I'm not going to say
Oshibachi Suisei.
I'm not going to say
and Usada Pekara.
You may be right, dude. Like, we need more of these holodecks in fucking baseball, dude.
Yeah, we do need holodecks in there.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to say about the worldwide fucking stupidity is what happened to all the hippies, dude? What happened to the hippies?
Oh, they became
conservatives.
They're a bunch of fucking hippies in fucking Woodstock.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of hippies, dude. And they grew up to be fucking pussies, dude.
Also, a lot of them are dead.
They're boomers.
I hope they're dead, dude. Because if they didn't come out and fucking...
all those drugs will do that.
Yeah.
I mean...
Here's the thing. Where are all my Rage Against the Machine bros? You know what I mean? Back in 99, dude, there was a lot of Rage Against the Machine bros.
Yeah.
And I still follow some of them that I went to high school with on Instagram. And guess what? They're fucking conservative, you pieces of shit.
That's the thing.
I thought we had a thing going, dude.
I mean, Ricardo, you and I know a former coworker who is like straight edge punk guy who has basically become like a PragerU like advocate,
So this ex coworker, you're right. Like they were like hardcore punk, and then like poof. Yeah. I don't know what's happening, dude. I feel like the only guy left listening to fucking Metallica. Do you know what I mean? Like you're really old and you're like so fucking Master of Puppets, and like no one's like listening. You're like, I thought we were fucking good. I thought we were one thing, and you guys fucking became conservative. What the fuck happened?
They started owning too much property.
That's probably it, dude.
That's the thing. It's like once they're like, man, being punk was really hard. It's really nice to own a house. Yeah.
You know what's so funny? Here's the thing. From like the last 3 jobs, I had a big pay jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like, oh, okay, like I like this, like I like where I'm at. But here's the thing. It's a huge fucking tax bite that I get every fucking week that I get paid, right?
Right.
And my instinct is not to go, oh, I want to fucking pocket that money. My instinct is to go, why the fuck is it not helping more people? Why is my money not helping more people? Do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
of
also
course.
my instinct is like when people are like, oh, don't you like fucking LA taxes fucking, and it's like, my instinct is not to go, oh, I want to pocket more money. It's like, well, if you're telling me like, you raise my taxes by 5%, but we'll kind of get rid of some, like we could give universal health care to anybody who needs it.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll help half the homeless population get off the fucking street. Tax me 10% more. I'm good.
Absolutely.
But I don't, as I make more, it doesn't go the other way. So I don't understand the logic. I'm also not making millions. So maybe if I'm making millions, but still, even if I was making millions, I'd be like, okay, so now I don't have 10 million. I have 1 million. I still, still 1 million more than a lot of people.
You're not a greedy person,
Yeah, but I am a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit though, which doesn't make sense to me. As a human, I know I'm an asshole for a fact. Do you know what I mean?
I think most people don't mind paying taxes. It's more like the misuse of our tax money. That's what bothers me. It's like, yeah, I don't mind paying taxes and all that. I just want to make sure that it's
it's like, sure, I'll pay taxes, but I would prefer 50% of my taxes do not go to the military. I prefer it goes somewhere else, please. You know, like, maybe...
And if you go to the military, then show me where it's going. Name a missile after me. Do something cool, dude.
No, I do not want a missile named after me.
I want a missile named after me, dude. If they're paying for it, I want to know
the name of the monkey that gets my gun.
Yes, dude.
Oh my God, did you guys hear about that monkey? The monkeys that are on the loose?
Yeah.
I thought about you guys. I thought about you instantly, Ricardo.
I thought I posted
it's
about
just
that.
The monkeys, no guns.
Yeah, you might have. You might have.
So I think I posted another
I was like,
thread,
oh my God, it's happening.
which my thread was... Yeah,
it's only a matter of time until those monkeys come across a gun. They're in America. They're going to find a gun store in a few days.
Oh yeah,
one day.
From your mouth to God's ears, dude. I hope we find a gun, dude. But I want to talk about one last thing to our listeners.
Yeah.
Specifically, shout out to early on. First of all, if you're a new listener, we're sorry, dude. You're 30 minutes in, and you're like, when the fuck are they going to talk about fucking Star Trek? Apologies.
They won't be starting with Birthright Part 2.
You don't know that, dude. Maybe this is their jam. They're like, Part 1 sucked ass.
Yeah, the Part 2 specifically.
But Part 2 is good, dude. Which is, I stand by that statement, by the way.
Oh, all right.
Here's the thing. Shout out to the Discord gang, right?
Oh, love you guys in Discord. Yep.
Here's the thing. I'm not fucking around when I say I don't remember some things. Look, sometimes I'm high when I do this podcast, like right now. Sometimes I'm high when I watch the show. And I love the interactions. So if you tag me on something, everything is out of context for me. You're like, oh, blah, blah, like you reference something. Yeah. I know you're talking about that fucking episode. I don't know what I fucking said. So if you could
I don't remember. We've had 150 episodes or something. I don't remember.
But what I want to say is I do want to interact and I do want to respond. So if you could just give me a little help by saying, oh, in this episode, when you said about this, just give me a little hint and then I'll take it from there. I just want a little help so I could interact more. Cause like, I feel like now I'm like, oh, that sounds funny. And it sounds like something I would say, but I don't know what the fuck what I was saying. I was high as shit, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Now the other day, someone like posted a Weekend at Bernie's meme, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why we mention Weekend at?" Oh, yes, we did. We did. Yeah, we did.
Did we? I didn't know what that was for.
I think it was part of one of your Around the Suns, actually. So.
Oh, really?
No, we were talking about puppeting Marvin's dead body.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that would happen.
See, now that comment, funny as shit, dude.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I was like, what does this mean? What does this mean? So if I just respond with like a little emoji or something, it just means I don't know what the fuck I said, dude. I apologize. But if you give me a little help, I will be in it with you.
All right, what do you know? We're back Around the Sun.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of being in there with you, we should check out our longest running sponsor, ExpressVPN, who...
They're still with us, dude?
Dude,
I don't know,
not only are they still with us, now they have a crazy new offer.
Okay. What?
Okay. So remember, for like the past,
I like these perverts, by the way. These are my type of perverts.
For like the past 2.5 years or so, however long we've been doing ExpressVPN, I've always said, sign up for 12 months, you get 3 months free. All right. Now, if you sign up for 24 months, you will get 4 months free. And it's overall 81% off.
What?
Not only that, but if you do the 2-year plan, you actually get a ton of extra stuff that isn't normally included with ExpressVPN unless you add it on as a separate thing. So if you sign up for 2 years, this is all included. The VPN, obviously, the password manager, obviously, the advanced protection they've had, with the ad blocker, tracker blocker, etc. But now they've added ID alerts for free, which is like, you know how like they kind of like all these websites are collecting your information and using it to like give you spam phone calls and shit like that.
I get so many spam calls.
Yeah. So they are going to do that for free. They will now scan the website for those and see where your information is being posted. So that's fascinating. You'll have ID theft insurance built in for free.
I want to say this. I don't mind that they're selling me information. I just want to wet my beak on that shit, dude. You know what I mean? Like, look, if you're making $1 off of my fucking information, I want at least 49 cents. I prefer 69 because that's the ideal number.
Right.
But 49, I'll take 49. It's less than 50 by one.
Right.
And you could say in your conscience, "Oh, we're taking him. We get a bigger percentage." And I wouldn't fucking mind, dude.
But if you're not getting your beak wet, you can actually. They have a data removal service now built in as well. So this is something I personally pay for on the side through a service called Optory.
What? I didn't know that.
But this is now built in to ExpressVPN.
Sarah's
if you sign up for 2 years.
Like, how much are you paying for that shit, dude?
Hold on. We never discussed this.
Well, basically, this is why I get so much fewer spam calls.
It pays for itself.
How much are we spending on this a month?
This is why I get so much fewer spam calls and spam texts from you.
Thanks for sharing and letting me know.
Wow. But now this type of service is built into ExpressVPN for free, which is really cool. But you only get all of those free if you do the 2-year plan. But that'll also get you an extra 4 months for free. And then the entire package is 81% off, which is a pretty dang good deal. And it's the same good quality VPN it's always been. You know, it's works in 105 countries. It's one of the fastest VPNs out there, like the name suggests. And it actually works correctly with streaming services and all that. And if you want, you can still try to do it for a month. You can still do it for a year. But that 2-year plan includes all of those things for free. The 1-year plan includes everything but the data removal. And then if you do a 1-month plan, it doesn't include the ID theft insurance either. So I think it's worth doing the 2-year plan because it's a really, really 81% off is a really good value. And for people who are wondering, wait, that sounds suspicious. Why can anyone offer 81% off on anything? And the reason is VPN companies actually make a shit ton of money. It's one of those things that once you have the infrastructure set up, once you've done the back end work for it, you kind of just make sure it runs correctly. Yeah. If you're looking for backends through their backend,
hell yeah.
But once it's all figured out, it's generally fine. And they just need to make sure there's no security issues, make sure it's running correctly, etc. And that's why they can offer you 2-year plans for 81% off. That's how that works. So if you guys want to check that out, head on over to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 2 years, they'll give you 4 months for free, which is 81% off. And if you're not sure, as always, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can try it out for 30 days. And if you don't like it, you can just send it back, cancel your plan, get your money back. So again, head on over to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 2 years, they'll give you 4 months for free. Also, Extra is one of our...
I want to say this. Those people at fucking ExpressVPN, half of those people are real fucking perverts, dude. And I love them for it. Just want to shout out to... if you're
Why specifically half?
It just feels like half of them are it's just like a good number. You know what I mean?
Right, nice
like,
round
number. These
number.
are like internet security, and half of these are like, I just don't want people to know what kind of porn I'm watching. You know?
Fair.
So,
I don't want the government to have that dirt on me.
If you're a VPN, if you work for ExpressVPN and you're a listener, hey, have a good day, dude.
Well, who else should have a good day is Extra. They're known for their nice card holder wallets with the pop-up access, quick access buttons and all that. But Ricardo, you were actually saying the other day you were interested in their new lineup of metal key holders, weren't you?
Hell yeah, dude. I like heavy metal music.
Yeah.
And I like heavy metals in my body. And I like keychains with heavy metals.
Yeah, so now they have metal versions of all of their key holders, which is really cool. And they have all sorts of things. They've had the grid backpack, the grid duffel bag, the weekend bag, all sorts of cool stuff. You could go check it out at extra.com. That's EKSTER.com. And when you check out, you can use offer code NEWBIE, that's NEWBIE, for an additional discount off any order site-wide. That means this discount stacks with any sales that they have going on. So you can always get a little bit more of a discount, even if they're having a big sale. So you can use this anytime. So again, you can head on over to extra.com, use our offer code NEWBIE for an additional discount off any order site-wide. All right. Well, let's get into Birthright, shall we? There's a bit of a tonal shift from the last episode.
Ricardo, could you please tell us what happened in this episode?
I don't remember what the fuck happened in the last episode. Like on DS9, did anything important happen that I forgot about?
They weren't on DS9 that much.
Just for a bit, right? And then fucking Shrek came out of nowhere. He's like, oh,
yeah. DS9 was only a part. Yeah. DS9 only came to the picture so that Worf could meet that Shrek guy. And
so it was like a setup background.
So here's the thing. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Episode 1 sucks ass, dude, because you don't need to be in DS9. They just wasted a fucking.
But you said you liked.
Oh my god, this is the exact opposite of what you just said.
I'm switching, dude. I'm switching.
That was my argument last episode, and then everyone was like, "Fuck you."
This is what happens when we take a couple weeks in between recordings.
No, everyone was like, it's fine. I like it.
I agreed
it's
with you. And Ricardo was the one who kept saying, "No, I like it. I like when bullshit just happens for no reason."
And I was like, "What is the point of being on DS9? I don't understand it. That had nothing to do with anything."
That's how it was.
As I remember it, Marvin was the one who is most strongly saying part 1 is pointless because it's all about Data's dreams.
Yeah. That's like the actual important story.
It was about his dreams.
Yeah, remember there's like half of the episode was Data realizing he can dream. Remember?
That was that episode?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was a bullshit episode, dude. I'm with you, Sarah. That episode sucked ass, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think you were saying any of this last time.
No,
it's a very different story.
It's the revisionist in me. Go change my score back. Whoever's keeping track of these scores, Tim, Ricky, what's his name?
Oh my god.
Change my score. I apologize.
I don't know what I do it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This episode fucking rocks, dude. Because there's no bullshit. There's a little bit of bullshit with like, where's fucking Worf? Let's track him down. They shouldn't have cut back to them at all, dude. It's like, how did we find you? We just fucking logic. That's how we found you.
That's the thing. Every time they cut back for like 10 seconds to be like, yep, we're still looking for him.
Yeah.
They cut back away.
No, but they don't know where he went. He went to like 5 different places. Let's check the first one.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Yeah, that's literally the first scene they show up at the Enterprise. Yeah. They're like, just check the closest planet, I guess. Let's start there.
So
practice. It worked.
So Worf is stuck in this like secret island, right? Where like, not island, it's a planet, right? It's an island.
It's a whole planet, yeah.
It's a colony, I guess you could say. Yeah.
But they're a planet. It's basically just them, right?
It's a planet, but there's like, it's a compound. I don't know if
any location is either a location or a whole planet in Star Trek.
This is Star Wars logic for this episode.
Every planet is a single location.
Yeah.
The whole planet is jungle.
But they have walls and gates up, you know.
Yeah.
Well, dude, they have snakes, dude. You don't want the snakes to bite you. Okay.
It's a jungle.
And they're hunting something. Mm-hmm. It's skin, so you don't know what the outside looks like, but the inside looks like delicious meat, dude. It looks like you can make some good birria with that, dude. Speaking of, you hating birria.
Yeah, it just happened.
But the proper way, dude, which is with goat meat. None of that fucking beef.
See, that's
birria.
What.
Oh, yeah, I had beef.
Yeah, you guys are like,
I don't eat goat.
Birria.
Yeah, I don't eat goat.
Yeah, you eat beef.
I eat beef. I don't eat goat.
Yeah,
though.
You're like, fuck cows.
Well, but she doesn't like gamey.
It's where I draw the line.
No, but goat is too gamey.
It's the gaminess, whereas I like the gaminess.
When you cook it properly,
it doesn't taste.
It's delicious, dude. Delicious.
I mean, in my culture,
I like gamey meat.
In my culture, they eat a lot of goat, so it's
dude.
I just don't dig on the goat as much.
Yeah, don't dig on the goat.
Okay, so here's the thing. He's stuck in this fucking planet world, whatever this fucking thing is.
Yeah.
And they're basically like, you can't leave.
Your dad's not here.
I like his JanSport backpack straps.
Yeah. Here's the thing about how long do you think this takes? How many days is he here? Like 2?
It seems like he's only here for like 3 days.
Okay.
Not very long.
Nobody, like, they want him to stay, right?
Also, it can't be because the Enterprise is looking for him, and it's not like they look for him for like a month or something. You know,
so just a few days. Let's say a week. Let's call it a week.
Week max. That's the max.
And then Tim Tebow, or whatever the fucking leader is, he's like, hey. We want you to stay. You're going to assimilate to our culture and stuff. We live in harmony, right?
Yeah.
But no one gives him fucking clothes. He's wearing the same dirty ass fucking clothes for a whole week.
We mentioned that too. We were like, wait, where's his clothes? Does he have somewhere to live? It's clear they give him some kind of apartment of some kind, or
but the apartment has no change of clothes. He has to wear.
No, he's got a nice little like
the whole time.
He's got a nice sleeping bag, but no fucking clothes.
Yeah.
You think he's washing them at night? And hanging them?
No.
Maybe because he's a Klingon, they're like, we like body odor. We like BO. So we keep the same clothes on for weeks at a time. You know,
here's the thing my favorite part. Before I forget, I'm gonna jump ahead like Tarantino and then come back. All right, guys. This is my favorite scene because I don't want to forget about it.
Okay.
He goes to kiss the girl, right?
Oh, God.
And he's like, "Ew, your ears are fucking gross, dude." I fucking hate you, dude.
That was so fucked up.
And I'm like, oh my God, like that's what the fuck you doing, dude? Think about that later, dude. After
Worf is so racist in this episode.
He's a super racist.
He's super racist.
You goddamn piece of shit. And he almost spits on her, dude. It felt like that's how serious it got.
Yeah. It was really serious. And it almost made me like, I'm like, damn, am I supposed to like side with Worf here? Because I kind of like, oh, this piece of shit, this racist piece of shit.
Yeah. Also,
like,
was there a time jump in like the show TNG? This Worf has a fucking Van Damme like ponytail, like long ass.
Oh yeah,
hair.
so he's had it for like the past 3 or 4 episodes.
Are you kidding me, dude?
We talked about it in an episode, actually.
I forgot, dude. This episode started. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Anyway.
I think we should explain that they're in a camp where Romulans and Klingons live in peace somehow.
Yeah. We should.
Right. That was established in part 1.
Yeah. You don't have to go back to 1. The episode.
They kind of also then explain how. So they kind of go, okay. So the reason that works is because they were all knocked out from an explosion. Yeah. The Romulans captured them. They thought they can use them as political, like I don't know what the term is.
Pawns.
Pawns. Yeah, like trade them for something, right? And then the Klingons were like, no, they're dead. There's no way they're alive. They're dead. Klingons would never be captured alive. And because the Klingons were then like, okay, well, then the Romulan leader Tokath was like, well, I guess you're free to go then. But then they were like, no, we can't go back. We would ruin the honor of our families forever. So then
and they didn't they didn't like kill themselves either.
They were trying to starve themselves to death, but they kept feeding them. They prevented them from
is that
dying.
The only thing you can do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they were in chains.
I can think of a lot of other ways to,
Why?
Yeah.
They didn't try anything else?
Especially like starving. Yeah. Starving to death would take a really long time. I can think of a couple other ways.
Yeah, dude. If I was going to kill myself, let me tell you how I do it. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. But let's get into it a little bit because they have weapons. They could have just stabbed each other. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, again, maybe during that period when they were prisoners, they were like in chains and they couldn't move or something.
You know what this town feels like? The town in the movie The Village, where like it just stuck in some weird like limbo. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Worf goes out and he's like looking about. This is like the second day, I feels like, and this kid's like fucking like gardening with like a fucking weapon, dude.
Yeah, and he's like insulted.
And like he's insulted that like Worf's like, oh, this is a fucking warrior's weapon. What are you doing? And
basically the whole episode is Worf bitching that they're not doing Klingon things traditionally.
But to be fair, here's the thing: he's not really fucking Klingon, dude.
That's the other thing is that like his exposure to Klingon culture is completely tertiary. Like it is not direct at all. And in fact, every time he's had direct involvement with Klingon culture, it sucks.
Yeah, but like, they do. It feels like the writers did try to make him out to be an authority on Klingon culture, at least within this context.
He's like, we're all singing the fucking song, dude, the Hunt song. By the way, I want to point this out early on. He treats this kid more like a son than his own son, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He's like, he almost says, I wish you were my son, dude.
Yeah.
He was already thinking it.
Yeah.
The whole time.
He's like, how about you go back? This chick is my wife. You're my favorite son. Good fucking.
You're my only son that exists.
What's the other son's name?
Alexander. Good Alex.
He's good Alexander. You're good Alexander. The other guy's regular Alexander.
You know what though? I feel I do feel for the children born on this planet because like Worf keeps saying like, hey, you're not doing the Klingon things and you're using this tool wrong and you don't even know the meaning of the song that you're singing. And everyone on this planet is like, look, this is the life we were born into and we're happy. Like, I don't know why you're trying to like come in here and tell us that we're not authentic and it's okay to be mixed race. You know what I mean? Like, it's all right.
It's okay to have pointy ears.
Yeah, it's all right. Like, we're not ashamed of ourselves. And I don't know why you're ashamed of us, but we're fine. We're happy.
Yeah.
And Worf,
they should just spit on him and go, "What are you, fucking goth? You piece of shit."
I mean, that might have been the end of it, but then Worf kind of does. By the way, through to
no
them.
insult to any goths. I apologize for that.
He does. I mean, he kind of shows them their roots and like maybe gives them context.
Interesting.
To who, like, another side of their culture, which I don't think is a bad thing, but I also don't disagree with them when they're like, well, we're kind of this mixed race situation.
Yeah. So there's and
it's unique. You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad. It's just unique.
I see both sides.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The way he's gardening with this thing. Imagine if you like showed up to like somebody's house and they were gardening with a fucking gun, dude. They're like, like we're planting seeds.
You're like, whoa, hold on there.
You're using it all wrong, dude.
So here's the thing. So the context for why this episode was written is that they were like, we need to do a thing where Worf reconnects with like cultural stuff. And one of them is that Michael Piller had just watched Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And another thing was that they were also referencing this movie called, I haven't seen it before, the Over the Bridge Kwai. I think
Bridge over the River Kwai.
The Bridge over the River Kwai. That's what it is. Yeah. So they were very much in this mindset of, okay, let's like talk about like cultural assimilation and heritage and whatnot. And in fact, I'm going to take the opportunity to break format a little bit and do. We're not going to mailbag. We're going to do We're going to do mailbag really early because this week's mailbag is actually about this. So, this week's mailbag.
You're breaking protocol, dude.
We've done this before.
I'm kidding.
So this week's mailbag is from Sean. And actually, if you wanted to ever send us an email, you can always contact us at contact@newbiestartrek.com. That's contact@newbiestartrek.com. This week's email is from Sean, who writes, "The African Diaspora and Worf." It's a subject line. "Hi, the TNG two-parter Birthright is my all-time favorite TNG episode because it deals directly with the central metaphor behind Worf's character, identity in the African diaspora. Worf has always been used by the show, often problematically, as an avatar of 1990s Afrocentrism or Black nationalism. This aspect of his character would have been legible to a 1990s audience living through debates about multiculturalism. But Birthright tackles the actual historical dilemma behind all this. American slavery and its aftermath, here represented by a Romulan prison camp. The Romulan Tokath is clearly meant to be the self-satisfied paternal slaveholder who thinks he's helping the people he's oppressing. Worf's debates with the Klingons in the camp suggest the real predicaments enslaved communities faced, how to survive, whether to accommodate, and how to pass down their West African cultural heritage. At one point, Worf literally shows that their farming tools are weapons, i.e. their plowshares have been swords. Anyways, love the pod. Sean."
I'm fascinated by that email, Sean. There's so much to say.
So this to me is why I don't love the episode as much as Ricardo does, because I've been aware of this context that they wanted to do with this show, this episode, and I don't think they do it well.
I 110% agree, Marvin.
That's the problem. Is that it's so wrapped up in the. I think Dan was chatting about this with me last week. He was like,
"Yeah,
Klingon culture is so weird that it can't be used as an allegory for something." You know, like they have such weird ideas about what is honorable, what isn't honorable, and like what you can or cannot do that it doesn't really connect correctly. If it does, it connects in an almost offensive way.
But also, we're talking about like a very different. I mean, these are very different circumstances.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's really hard to draw that comparison when you're like, oh my God, these are really different circumstances, right? Like
they are very different circumstances because like when it's Klingons, like you're trying to keep in mind that Klingons as an alien race are a race of warriors, and you know, violence is honorable to them, and they have very unique ideas about the honor of death and dying honorably and blah blah blah. That's supposed to be very unique to Klingon culture. And you then see Worf inspire these youngsters and like ignite a flame in them that seems to be inherent to Klingon species.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing to then make allegorical. Not to mention, the general premise is actually not correct either. They're prisoners of war. They weren't former slaves.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a very different context.
That's what I mean by the context is not comparable.
Yeah.
It almost feels like too, because I believe the guy that started this colony, I forget his name in the episode.
Tim Toback.
I feel like he almost he married a Klingon. I feel like he fell in love.
He's a Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. So he fell in love with one. Therefore, he had a stake in the game to preserve, the
status quo.
Yeah,
or at least the peace.
He wasn't upset about it. He was like, well, I fell in love with that and I have children. But also, I want to say too that, I mean, I understand respecting and understanding your origins and your roots and where you came from and your diaspora and things like that. But also there is a space for new cultures forming of different combined cultures. And I don't think that's inherently wrong. So to say that,
that's what happened in America, right? When
or like Creoles, you get Creoles, Cajuns, different mixes of people. I don't think that that's inherently wrong, really. It's just a different kind of culture. And so I think in this episode, they're trying to paint it as like, you're not being Klingon enough and like, this is not okay. You got to remember who you are. And I'm like, well, they're clearly like, we're a combo and we're okay with that.
Yeah, it's like, this is new and this is them.
And this is okay with us. Like, we're Romulans, we're Klingons, we're a combination of both. We understand. Sure, we would like to get to know our Klingon culture more, and thank you for showing us. But I think it's okay to create your own space, I
want to say something about this, dude. I'm okay with the mixing of cultures, except when it comes to one thing, and I'm against it, dude. You keep them fucking segregated, dude.
Oh my God.
None of that fucking fusion food, dude. Keep your fucking food separate, dude. They've never been to a fusion place where I'm like, God, this is fucking beautiful here, dude.
It's so funny you said that because just today I was scrolling and I saw like this Mexican Korean like fusion food picture, and it was like another one of those goddamn like carby burritos. And I was like, fuck this shit, I don't want it.
Well, carby taco is delicious.
Here's the thing,
I mean, not to me. I'm with Ricardo on this one,
right? So
I'm done with the fusion foods.
I've had the Kogi truck. What is it? Roy Choi?
Yeah. Kogi truck, and
it's fine. They're fine. I've had the burrito. They're fine. But here's the thing: every time I eat the burrito, I'm like, oh, now I just wish I was eating like one or the other.
Exactly.
It just makes me hungry for like my next meal. It doesn't inspire me to go, oh fuck, dude, this guy is a genius, dude. Mexican culture, Korean culture together. No, it makes me go, oh, I want some Korean barbecue, or dude, I want a carne asada burrito.
Right.
Never satisfied.
The problem is they don't fuse.
Yes. Yes. You know what I'm okay with? I'm okay with this. Okay. If you want to put tapatio on fucking ramen, go ahead, dude. Because it's just a sauce, dude. If you want to put like chili paste you'd put on ramen into Mexican food, okay with that. You're just bringing a sauce to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't fucking come with your fusion over here, dude. Keep it separate, dude. Segregate those bad boys.
I think the flip side to that though is that there are some people who, well, I think it's just like there's some people who are like so fiercely like this food must be this way, and it's like it doesn't. It's you eat it in a way that's enjoyable to you. Like you like sometimes Koreans are like precious about like no. With the beef, you're supposed to dip it in this sauce. And then the pork, you're supposed to dip it in that sauce. It's like, just eat it however you fucking want. Or like how like there's some Italians who are hardcore, like you never put any cheese near any seafood. I'm like, cheese is delicious with seafood. Like, get over it. Like, it's fine. It's totally good. Like,
people get like super dogmatic about food are also pretty hard
I'm not sure about that, Marvin.
Sarah, you have had Parmesan cheese on your seafood pasta before, and it's delicious.
Seafood pasta? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I literally have served that. We ate that for dinner a few days ago.
I like fillets of fish. God damn it!
A fillet of fish is delicious.
I'll accept that, but hear me out. I don't like when you change something completely and it's not the thing. You know what I mean? It's not like
no. It's like what I'm saying is there'll then be like Italians who are like, oh my God, the pizza needs to be this way, and it's like your pizza 200 years ago didn't look like this. Like it's changing over time. Like be okay with that. Like
my beef is more with like, don't make a vegetarian version of birria and then call it birria. Get the fuck out of here with your fucking vegetables, dude. If I want to eat a carrot, I'll eat a carrot.
Right,
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Don't call it that. Call it something else, dude.
I kind of feel your pain, Ricardo. I've had issues myself with the labeling problem of like vegan alternatives because I acknowledge that they're in a bind because they need to kind of advertise what it's going to be like.
Yeah, like vegan bacon or something.
It's never like that. It's never. I never had a. When they advertise it, they should go, this is what's in it, and this is what we're trying to hit. Like, first tell me what's in it, dude. Because if you tell me, oh, this is going to taste like fucking eggs and chorizo, and it doesn't taste like fucking eggs and chorizo, I'm already coming in at 10 in anger.
The cardinal sin that a vegetarian or vegan can tell you is that the alternative they're serving you is indistinguishable from the original.
Yeah. Just accept that cool. It doesn't.
Anyone who tells you that is admitting that they never gave a shit in the first place.
Because the thing is, here's the thing. Like my favorite when we went to UC San Diego, my favorite type of breakfast burrito used veggie patties. Veggie patties is like a vegan patty that has no meat in it. But I liked it because it was different. Just accept that it's different. Like don't like pretend the veggie patty is going to
call it something else.
Well, that's why they call it a veggie patty. They didn't pretend it was veggie sausage
or veggie burger. You know?
Yeah, they call them veggie patties.
No,
like,
you know what?
Veggie bacon.
I've had the Impossible Whopper, and I like it better. You know why?
That's crazy.
Because they call it the Impossible Whopper, and they're not calling it this is just a Whopper. But you know, the Impossible Whopper is good because whatever the fuck they're making the patties with absorbs like the pickle smell a little more, the lettuce, the tomatoes,
it's spongier,
onions.
Yeah.
And it tastes good. That's the only thing where I've had it that I'm like, wow, I kind of prefer the Impossible Whopper to the regular Whopper.
I mean, that's like me with the veggie patties when I ate breakfast burritos, you know? I was like, this is good. I actually prefer this. It's not as heavy. I feel like I can eat the whole burrito without feeling like shit.
I'll always eat the whole burrito, dude. Even if I'm like...
No, I'll always eat the whole burrito. It's just whether I feel bad afterward or not.
Yeah, that has no play. I'm going to feel bad no matter what, dude. So just fucking eat it, dude. Here's the thing about this episode. I still love it because it's so funny. It's a funny fucking episode.
There's a lot of funny parts that happened. Yeah, like the
I never laughed so much, dude. I had so much fun in this episode. Yeah.
How do we feel about Worf's relationship with the young
lady?
With the young daughter? Like, I have questions around her age. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, she does seem like she's like 20 years younger or something. It's a little weird.
She's young enough where she has to take direction from her mom.
Well, and also, like, it's Worf who kind of shows her that jewelry, or like tells her what the jewelry's for. With, you know, when you're old enough to choose a mate, you put this necklace on.
And he was about to fuck her, dude. If she hadn't shown her ears, he would have fucked her, dude.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it just feels like mildly inappropriate. But I'm not sure.
I don't know because you don't know.
I don't know how old
you don't know Klingon age, dude.
I don't, but it's just a feeling. I'm not saying it's a fact. It's like a feeling, you know?
I think it was also like just a general miswrite and miscast of the character. Is it me
or is she white in blackface or no?
I think she's like in the mix.
I think
so. She has the but I think it's just like there's this weird writing where she's written
younger
with a childlike wonder, and then they cast it a younger looking or feeling actor. When I think it would have worked better if it was someone who was like, "Oh, I am like the next in line. I'm the princess." Or whatever.
No matter what, this would have needed to be someone that they paired up with Worf. So the writer like knew they had to work with that somehow.
Yeah,
but they wrote her very childlike, which is weird. You know,
well, she's naive. She's not childlike. She's naive.
Sheltered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wrote her as like Amish.
But it
exactly.
Like Klingon Amish.
These people are Amish, dude.
Like Klingon Amish.
I mean, but did he like get her ID? Did he get her age? You know what I mean? Like, are we sure? Like, how
when
old?
do they ever? You know? Especially in this era.
I mean, in this day and age, you got to ask for ID. You know, in my opinion. You know, so
it's the 90s, Sarah.
People look much older than they are, and you got to verify. You know,
yeah.
You have to.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that it's the passage of time. You know what I mean? Like, think about your grandparents. How big of an age gap is there, dude?
A lot. Big one. Yeah.
Did your grandfather marry your grandmother when she was underage?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah. But that was like this is supposed to be in the future. I thought we were past.
I know, but the show was made in the past.
Okay, but not that far. Not my grandparents.
This is also
like
in space and about completely different species.
You know, this was.
Yeah.
My grandparents would have been like 1930s, 20s. You know what I mean? Like. That's like a long 20s. Time ago.
How old are your grandparents, dude?
Old. They're dead, but they're old. They were old. Yeah.
I mean, how old though? 20s?
Yeah. 1920s. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm not old. I'm the youngest of a long line. You know what I mean? Like I'm the youngest of the youngest in my family. So that's why to me, everyone's very old.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, no, they were definitely older grandparents as I was growing up. You know what I mean? Like my parents are like older, than most people's parents. So like,
I don't know, dude.
Because I'm the second round for my parents. They already had, like when you already have, I'm like the down the line kid. So you're like the older parents. Like for my brothers and sisters who are 10 years older than me, they're the more on par with how their parents would be age-wise. But for me, it's like, oh, your parents are like a little bit on the older spectrum. Same with your
Interesting.
I mean, I wish I had younger parents. I mean, that would have been interesting, but, just didn't play out for me. But, I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I guess also what made me, to go back to Marvin's point about like her character being written almost like childlike. I think the scene that kind of really made me like wonder was when like her mom showed up and was like, I told you not to talk to that man, or that Klingon.
Yeah.
Or, I just was like, oh, like, how old is she? Like I was like, wait a minute. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. It just felt like she was just very like under their control. And it just made me
naive. Think about
well, childlike and naive, but I don't think that necessarily denotes her age. It just denotes her emotional maturity.
I think part of it also is that like she seems to be like the same age as Talk, the guy who ends up being kind of his son, and that's weird.
Exactly.
So
but also like emotional maturity also plays into like attraction for me. So like
it does.
Even though you might be of age, if you have an emotional maturity level of someone younger, like I'm not going to find that attractive. I'm going to feel very weird about that.
Yeah, then like, that's where we deviate there because I have the maturity of like a 13-year-old.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Like you're not naive, right? Like you're not I'm just a
pervert piece of shit.
You're not like a 13-year-old boy.
No, you're not like a 13-year-old boy. Yeah,
Okay, I'm like a 13-year-old girl. All right. So
anyway.
Here's the thing. Yeah. This episode is funny as hell. There's so many funny parts. The ear part. So let's just get through it because I feel like we're stuck in one fucking.
It's a series of set pieces. Each one ends with Worf saying, "See, this is your culture. So
this is the way." Here's some of the funny parts that I want to get through. Worf builds a bomb out of the doorknob. The door switch.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
He's basically MacGyver in this thing, dude.
This is why everything explodes when the Enterprise is hit. It turns out all of the computer technology in the world is just naturally explosive.
Everything is made out of what's the stuff?
Nitroglycerin.
Nitroglycerin. That's the thing. The whatever. It's what's
Crash Bandicoot.
Whatever. It's what sweats out of dynamite, right? Nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite parts is like. Talk about looking suspicious is that he's opening the little door fucking button, right? To make a bomb out of it. And they knock at his door and he goes and he starts making his bed. I've never seen anybody look more suspicious, dude.
Shout outs to the normal door lever handles in this society.
Yeah.
No sliding doors here. They just have normal lever doors. I like it.
Yeah.
You think there's tiny little explosion that closes the door?
Yeah.
kind of like an engine, like an internal combustion engine. Like you're like, there's like a million little fucking explosions that make the engine go.
They don't use electricity. Everything's powered by
internal
gasoline generator.
No, that's energy. That's still electricity. They literally have to explode doors open and closed.
What's funny, these two dudes or ladies, I don't know what they are. They're moving the barrels, and I'm like, they're gonna fall on somebody and kill them or paralyze.
Yeah, I was like, Worf, watch out! There's all these.
Yeah, and he knows, he uses them like to make things explode. And he's not very like subtle about it. You could like, he's very like, oh, nothing to see here. Just throwing this little fucking box, this Rubik's cube over here.
Just looking around all the time and like,
this guy doesn't care, dude. There's like a baby nearby, and he still fucking throws a bomb, dude. They're singing the lullaby war song, the chant.
Oh yeah.
And he fucking explodes the thing. The baby could have gone deaf, dude.
Yeah,
what has no respect, dude?
What if the baby ran to the spot right as he threw?
Yeah.
What are the kids ran right to the spot?
Here's one thing
I just covered a terrorist bombing around the sun.
I know, dude. I know. Shrek.
1,000 Klingons were injured in this explosion.
I wanted more Shrek, and I was disappointed. No more Shrek.
James Cromwell was injured. He could not come back.
Unfortunately, he would have had more to do, but he was injured.
How was he injured? What kind of injury?
Broke his leg. He broke his leg while walking through this woods.
Sit him down somewhere?
No.
Shoot him from the waist up, dude.
He was too hopped up on goofballs.
I did find it hilarious.
He kept saying racist things while he was drugged up. He's like, I fucking hate pigs. And they're like, you can't say that. You're going to be in a movie called Babe. He's like, I'm talking about cops. God damn it, James.
I did find it funny that without any of his backstory, like they were going to put into the show, he just turns out to be some asshole who tricked Worf to come to this planet for no reason.
Completely, he completely lied.
Was wrong, dude.
Yeah,
his information was wrong, dude.
Well, why did he do this?
He got confirmation that his dad died. Didn't he?
Yeah.
In the battle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's so funny is that when he comes back, he's like, what did you expect to find? Like, if you find your dad, he's like, I would hug him. And he's like, I wish if my son came, he would just fucking kill me.
Oh, but wait, Shrek told him that his dad was alive.
Yeah, that's right.
Shrek told Shrek had told him your dad's alive.
So that's a complete fucking lie.
Yeah, he's just a fucking asshole.
Lie. Yeah, it's
maybe
such a lie.
Okay, no, this was just Shrek's noble attempt to get the youngsters out.
Yeah.
He needed to find their champion.
Maybe. You think Shrek
Except he was willing to he was waiting for Worf to run away with him at that moment, and he only didn't because he got knocked out. So I mean,
Do
you think Shrek would have sold these kids to somebody else? Probably, right? He's a traitor.
Maybe.
A trade
sure.
Yeah. Not like he was
He very well might have. For all we know, he would have.
So then a couple things happen. One is Worf tries to escape after the bombing. Doesn't
work.
Where he injured 1,000 people, and he tries to run, and then this young guy, his pseudo son, stops him.
Yeah. Also, I just realized, why did they need the bomb? Worf then just later, after the bombing explosion, just hopped over a wall.
You could have just done that without the explosion.
Yeah, you could just do that any time.
I think it was supposed to pose a distraction,
but then they noticed him do it immediately.
Yeah, why couldn't he have done this at night? Why didn't he do it at night?
Yeah, why not do it at night when you were wearing a sneaking suit?
Yeah.
Do it in the cover of night.
That's what I'm saying. This episode's too good. It's so funny.
It's too good.
Another thing is that he put a little bomb in his neck, like fucking like the Running Man, right? So if he escapes, they fucking blow it up. Yeah, and then he starts doing Tai Chi the next day, and that's how he takes the kids, dude. He does Tai Chi, and then
he gets him hooked with martial arts.
The pseudo son comes up, and he fucking flips him around, and he's like, "That's the power of Tai Chi." That's the power of the Klingon Tai Chi.
So weird.
He's all, you give me 5 weeks and I'll show you the Billy Blank's Tai Chi method. You know,
I'll show you the touch of death, Denmark,
with honor. You got to say with honor every time you talk about the Klingon. And then so then the young naive girl, the fucking Amish girl, she takes him and he's like, oh, this is armor, and he's like, oh, you must never let a knife rust. And he's saying all these things about this bullshit, and he's like, oh, this is a mating fucking necklace. And then the girl's mom comes in and catches him.
That necklace we've never seen before, despite the fact that we had seen like K'Ehleyr, who was of age, and many other female Klingons of age, and this necklace has never shown up before. I don't know.
In K'Ehlyr's case, maybe because she was a halfie, she didn't really feel that connected to it. Or maybe it's after you've like spent some years like of age, you're like, this is embarrassing.
Or maybe it's like one of those
nothing's
things
happened yet. It's just like it's just a mark on me now.
Yeah, or maybe it's like the gifts you receive at like a bar mitzvah. You don't wear them. You just
it's what you get at the bat mitzvah.
Yeah, and then you just exactly. You just put them away.
So they're about to kiss, and then the mom comes and is like, oh, don't talk to this dirty old man, dude. He's got a ponytail, dude. Don't ever trust a man in a ponytail. Never. And so
that's good advice.
He gathers the kids, and he's kind of like trying to open their minds. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, you want to know how to do timetables? He's on 9 times 2, 1, 2. That's 18. He starts doing the stand and deliver bullshit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's calculus? Yeah. But then
Kalis the unforgettable could do calculus.
Yeah.
What's the and they're like, it's impossible. There's no way he could have done calculus.
And then
Klingons can't do calculus.
The young lady takes him to like kind of aside, and it's like, oh yeah, she's talking him up, dude. And he's about to give her a Tapatio hot hand. And then he sees her ears, and he's like, Tapatio will never touch your fucking ears, dude. You fucking sick fucking person, dude.
Mm-hmm. And that's sort of where then the metaphor falls apart completely.
Yes,
where it's just like, oh, now it's about Worf racism too.
Yeah,
and his hyper racism, like
it's so bad. Yeah.
Like, and then it cuts for 10 seconds, probably like 5, and they're like, where was the last time he was seen? This fucking Shrek, dude. He was out looking for a donkey in this fucking area. Let's go look there. It was a very stupid scene. They shouldn't have cut that. And then Worf goes to the girl's like house and is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I fucking was all horned up, and that turned into rage and fucking. You can't get in front of a fucking Worfian when he's all horned up like this, dude, and show him those ears, those sick ears. Yeah. By the way, cover them. Don't show them to me again. She never does. Yeah."
It's so messed up. It's so racist. The thing is,
you completely lose any empathy you have with Worf going on.
Oh, I have none. I have absolutely
you're kind of like, oh, okay, fuck off, Worf. You're kind of being an asshole.
Fuck you, Worf.
That's why. I mean, so here's the thing. Maybe if we were like alive. We were alive then. But
we were alive, yes.
If we were of the mind we have now, you know what I mean? Like we weren't fucking children. Maybe we would have like figured it out, like and apropos to the time. But we're watching these now, and like to me, it's like fucking Worf is racist as shit, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing that with how would I call this? What are we living in now? Whatever era we're living in. We're living in our fucking era. No, in our fucking Taylor Swift era, dude.
Our pre-apocalypse era.
Yeah, pre-apocalypse. Yeah. Pre Planet of the Apes.
We're living in our eras.
Yes, that's it. The era's era.
The era of the eras.
Sarah, no.
Look, I've been
she had a massive dose of Taylor Swift exposure.
I sure did. Sure did.
Yeah.
Lots of Taylor Swift. I got friendship bracelets and everything.
Really?
Amazing. Yeah. That's what they'll do.
God damn. You went to the concert, really?
I did not, but I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
Just because I was merely in a city that she was playing in.
Oh, yeah. The city transformed. Yeah.
You think she sprays the city stuff into the air?
Yeah.
She must. Absolutely. It felt like it. It absolutely felt
private
like
plane?
it.
Yeah. She's the one who's starting chemtrails everywhere.
I love the guy who started tracking her plane and being like, and then she tried to sue him. And she's like, you can't do that. You're a public figure, motherfucker. You can't do that.
Also, but by law, this information must be available. Yeah. We're just making it more accessible.
Yeah.
Also, the thing is,
but it's stalking.
In particular with Worf's racism. I forget the name of the episode or even what the context. Remember, there was like a dying Romulan, and then Beverly was like, "Hey, Worf, you're the only one whose blood is close enough to like save the Romulan. Could you give him some of your blood?" Remember? And then Worf, and that episode was about Worf kind of overcoming his racism to be like, okay, I'll give you blood. But then the Romulan was like, I would never let your dirty blood touch mine. And he was like, okay, bye. You know?
Yeah, and that was it for Worf. It's like, okay, fuck you then. Fuck all Romulans forever.
Yeah. So I guess it just cemented in his mind forever. That he's like, okay, well, that's it then.
They won't even take my blood when they're dying. They must really hate me.
Yeah. So I guess, that's where it is all cemented from. But,
And then they're playing like some sort of spear game, dude, with like fucking hula hoops. Right. And he's like, that's not a fucking children's game, you piece of shit. That's a fucking hunting exercise. He's like fucking Lieutenant, like Major Payne. That movie, Major Payne, trying to teach fucking kids how to fucking be so.
I haven't seen Major Payne. No.
Dude, you got to watch it. It's funny as hell. And then he's like, preparing for the hunt, dude. Chill out, dude. We're just trying to fucking burn some time, dude. And he's like, I shall take you on the hunt. And he's like, no one's going to agree to that, dude. You got to calm down, dude. This is like your third day here, dude. And he's like, you can take me outside. And so they go to the council and they're like, well, yeah, if the boy goes with him, they're fine. The Worfian guy says it. And then the other guy's like, well, I don't think he's coming back.
Well, that was one of the few interesting scenes in the episode where you see the dynamic between is Tokath and who's the other guy? LaCour? Was that his name?
I think LaCour. For Loco and Tim.
So it kind of shows a mutual it kind of shows the mutual respect they have for each other, and how it seems to be like co-run. It's not just Tokath calling the rules. It's like he defers to LaCour. He's like, well, you're the Klingon. So
they do seem to be trying to paint this society as a peaceful one that is
completely not egalitarian. There's no
not one that is run entirely on oppression or anything like that.
They both have iPads. They're both iPads, same size. I noticed that.
Which kind of, in my opinion, makes the comparison to like, I don't know, to like slavery and
like post-slavery America.
Yeah, it kind of falls apart when I don't know if it's directly comparable in this case, but this just feels like a weird offset colony that has two races that are unusual for their time, but they seem pretty equal in their ruling structures, possibly, but maybe are limited with leaving the compound for security reasons, which we'll get into eventually, which they're just like, hey, just don't ever talk about it.
I think one of the things that the show itself kind of potentially overlooks is that like there could have been a theme here of, like, for example, but the setup is that Klingons and Romulans racially hate each other, right? Like they hate each other because they are a Klingon or a Romulan, right? Mm-hmm. This is a society that decided to discard their old beliefs about that type of thing.
It's kind of a great thing.
Yeah, and like Tokath had to self-sacrifice in order to be like he gave up his career basically and his any movement he had in the Romulan military structure to be like, no, they said the moment I leave they're gonna fuck this all up, so I'm gonna stay here forever as long as I can to make sure it's all good, right? And to that same extent, LaCour has as much say about what goes on here as he does, and it's like they both, and like they don't have this animosity toward it. It's like they gave up some of the worst parts of their like prejudices built into their cultures in order to get
peacefully
along
together.
So I don't feel like that's the same thing going on here.
No, it's definitely not. But I don't know. Yeah, it's totally weird in that way.
Yeah,
I mean, I think at most the children are sheltered. I don't think I don't know about oppressed. I think sheltered. I think
they're sheltered, but it's also kind of interesting to me how quickly they go to, I would rather die than live out my life here.
Yeah.
I know. That's one of the limitations of the show's format, where they gotta get to the point fast,
Yeah,
whereas
they got radicalized real fast.
Like I wonder if, because they made apparently this was partially inspired by, what was the movie called? The Bridge over the River Kwai.
Bridge over the River Kwai.
Yes, I wonder if that movie was like this.
No,
I don't know enough about.
It was not
movie.
okay. Have you seen it, Ricardo?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it. It was like
I haven't seen it.
It's like a film school movie.
Oh, I've just never seen it. No.
It's like Alex Guinness, right? That's the one we're talking about? The Alex Guinness one?
I think it's Alec Guinness. Yeah.
Here's the thing. There's this scene. Well, there's every scene with Tim Toback, the fucking Romulan.
Yeah.
And all I see is his fucking hands are bright as fucking orange. Looks like he just fucking jacked something off, dude. And his face doesn't match his hands. And all I think was like, dude, you have jaundice, my man. You gotta get that.
Yeah, Sarah kept pointing that. I was like, what is up with his hands? It's
you know what? Really I like bizarre. That part of the scene where they say, okay, fine. If Worf's word is as good as your word was to me, then it's going to be like your responsibility if he runs away.
Yeah.
But also, little boy, kill him if he tries to escape.
Yeah.
When you are not even close to a warrior Klingon like you're supposed to be. You haven't been training any violent bone in your body.
Yeah. And so they go out hunting and Worf is like, oh, they're downwind. We got to wait till the fucking wind switches, dude.
He can smell shit now.
Yeah, I can smell shit. I could smell the fucking sweat coming off this fucking hog. And then the kid goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh my God, I smell it. I feel it in my heart. But how? Like, how did you
unlock his animal instincts?
Fatality. And he comes back. And he is really aggressive, dude. This guy. He comes back and he's like,
"Oh, is this the scene where he has that crazy monologue?
Crazy singing.
He's like,
it's his moment.
Back. He's like, we fucking hunted, and like he showed me how to hunt, and I'm fucking horned up.
And he showed me a YouTube video essay.
Yeah. And I want to say this: all the women should be fucking cooking, dude. Cook this fucking thing. You're like came back like a fucking.
Yeah,
like, he really went the other way on this thing, dude. He was like a pacifist, and he came back and he's like, I will not be satisfied till we eat well. And why is this woman sitting in the same fucking table as the men? She should be in the back in the kitchen. Send her back with my fucking...
Didn't he he wanted to eat the thing and the guy was like, whoa, like, we get that out of here. Like, that's crazy.
I like my replicated food.
What was the funniest part to me is how his father and like the other guy in charge were just kind of like staring at him like, okay, like what's going on?
I want to know, like, this is also the scene where they start singing, right?
Yeah. Yes. But here's the thing. He's very passionate before he starts singing. But I notice he's only talking to the men. He doesn't fucking talk. He comes back very misogynistic, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, also, it's Klingons.
Also, one thing that annoyed me, this is like this is not that minor a detail. Klingons like to eat their food alive.
Yeah.
Or at the very least raw. He was like, tonight we eat well. We're going to cook this up. I'm like, no, you don't cook things.
well, Marvin, he's not fully turned. He's only misogynistic, dude. He hasn't.
Yeah. Also, he learned how to be a Klingon from Worf.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's like, if you're a father, stop talking to your sons, dude.
Oh no!
That's so
you know what's funny to me? Like at the beginning of this whole outset, Worf was the aberrant Klingon by wanting to see his father over the dishonor.
Yeah. And now he's the prototypical good Klingon.
But now he has to be like, the prototypical for everybody. But
he's the exemplar of what a Klingon should be somehow.
Yeah. And then and the next scene is like basically fucking Tim Toback
everyone
is
sings,
like, everyone sings, and then Tim Toback.
I don't know that song.
Even the older people and the younger people, they're all singing together.
This was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing.
I'm telling you, dude. He was 1 second away from fucking telling all the women to shut up, dude.
Only we may sing.
Only the men may sing. The women take my fucking goat and cook it back there. Make sure it's delicious. But no, then the next scene, he's like, hey, I gotta kill you, dude. Tim Toback's like, I gotta kill you, dude.
You gotta go.
Because you're a piece of shit and you won't shut up. And if you leave, you're gonna fucking rat us out. You're dead, dude. I'm gonna execute you tomorrow. And then the lady comes over and she's like, I got the tool. I'm gonna pull the thing off your neck and you're gonna fucking escape. Pop's your uncle.
Yeah.
And he's like, hell no. I'm going to die, dude. Do I have a son back home? Yeah. Is he going to be fatherless? Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
He was fatherless anyway.
Yeah, he was fatherless anyway. This kid, I want to take this. If I can't take this kid, we taught how to hunt.
If I'm lucky, Riker would adopt him.
Yeah. I don't want to live if I can't take this guy as a son.
Yeah.
And guess who he takes back? Doesn't take the love of his life. We just fucking macked out.
No.
He takes the son, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking telling, dude.
Does he show up again eventually?
What are you talking about? No spoilers. Don't tell us. Don't tell us.
I guess don't tell us. I guess I'm wondering because at the end he brings
him home.
Yeah, he brings.
But you know what? The girl he kisses, he's like, no, I gotta die. Gotta die with honor. He says, but I'll kiss you with honor. And then he kisses her, and then she's oh my god. She's on.
What an honorable kiss.
Yeah, what an honorable kiss. And then the next day, he's like, this is your last chance, dude. Either you're gonna pipe down and fucking listen, and you can't be wearing black anymore, dude. We don't no more listening to The Cure, dude. And he's like, I refuse. The Cure has honor. And so he's like, no, I'm gonna still wear black, dude, because that's how I roll. And so they're like, all right. And then two dudes are like, all right, we're gonna execute him. Never executed a man before, but we're gonna do it now.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, that was crazy.
And he, with his jaundiced hands, he's like using his hands a lot to talk to go back. And I keep going like, fuck, dude, gotta get those fucking hands looked at, buddy.
Dude, you've been on this planet without a doctor for a really long time. I don't know if you've developed a liver issue or.
And his wife, was it me? Or did her forehead look fucking tasty as shit, dude? Like a fucking lobster, dude. What? All I could think about was a lobster, dude. I'm like,
it was very large and carapace-like.
Dude, it reminded me of the dude I want to eat from Star Wars. What's his name?
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, dude. He's probably got some good fucking neck meat, dude.
Therm scissor punch, the literal lobster.
Anyway, so he's like, you want to you don't want to not do this? And he's like, no, I showed them the way. You are not honorable. Your sideburns are too long. Look at me. My hair's long. Sideburns? Not there. And so he's like, shoot me. And then fucking his pseudo son shows up and he's like, this weapon is not for gardening. It's for shanking. And he found
all this armor and shit too.
And he puts it on, dude. And he's like, tonight we dine. He's like, if you kill him, you kill me, dude. And then he's like, oh fuck, all right. And then he doesn't say like, oh okay. He's like, all right, let's shoot him.
Yeah,
fucking shoot both of them, dude. And then more people start showing up. They're like, oh, all right. The first guy to show up is the Worfian dude, the Worfian leader. Four Loko guy. And he shows up and he's like, I am Spartacus. And then everyone else is like, I am Spartacus too. You shoot me, you shoot all of us, dude. And he's gonna do it, dude. The jaundiced dude's gonna fucking shoot him. And then his daughter shows up and he's like, no, I felt the touch of a man. I cannot go back. And it was very honorable. Yeah. And then the wife, the lobster forehead lady, is like, no, you can't shoot her, dude. You gotta let them fucking, they had some Red Bull and now they have wings.
Yeah.
You gotta let them fly. And
Tokath has no expression. He's just kind of like,
yeah. And then I love that.
I knew this was going to happen.
I know, dude. I like that Worf is, but also the two dudes in the back that didn't go and get in the firing squad. They're going to get made fun of later, dude. They're like, what the fuck, dude? I thought we were all going to go and you guys just stood back there like idiots. You guys didn't come in over here, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, one thing. He's like, you guys are going to keep this fucking place a secret with honor.
That's the thing. So that's all he had to propose at the beginning because they took his word for it, right? So all they had to propose at the beginning was, okay, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm a Klingon. I keep my word.
Yeah, they should have gone, hey, Liquor, you know the Klingons. Do we not have honor, true or false? And he would have been, oh, you're very honorable. And then Scout's honor. If you guys let me kiss that girl, I'll leave here without telling anybody, you know?
Oh
and let me take this kid as my son, as my ward.
Yeah. Let me show Alexander what I preferred.
And tell you what, I'll bring you a younger kid to raise.
Let's do a trade.
So it's a fair trade. Shrek will bring him. It'll be a fair trade.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get one of those goats as like a kicker, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like,
not gonna lie, it's a fixer-upper, but Talk's Talk's he's not all there either.
Yeah, that's true. But instead, there's like, no one will talk about this place. If they say where you're from, you fucking the Virgin Mary, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have parents, you fucks.
The ending of this episode reminds me a bit of the Masterpiece Society.
Where like some of them leave and... Yeah.
Well, like where an insulated society that needs to like depend on its own little lie to exist.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, at least in the Masterpiece Society, they claimed if one person leaves, our society will fall apart. This one, it was more of like...
There's a difference there.
This one's more of like, we just really would prefer if you didn't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a more benevolent version of the Masterpiece Society.
It's inconvenient if you fucking tell somebody, you know?
Yeah, like...
But again, at the end... Everyone kind of goes their own way, like they all disperse.
Yeah.
And Worf only brings one person. It wasn't the girl he fucking kissed, dude, and she's all whipped now. It was his pseudo son, dude, which makes me convinced that he doesn't fucking like Alexander and he wants this guy as his son.
Well, there you go. And then, Picard and Worf exchange knowing smiles and they go,
mm-hmm. Yeah. And guess what? Again, no fucking questions about like, hey, dude, you were gone. You were off base without your uniform, wearing this fucking Black Ops shit, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna be court-martialed, dude.
Yeah, he didn't go, like, what the fuck were you doing?
Yeah, like he's like, oh, great, you brought another guy over here. Awesome, dude.
Yeah,
like seriously, dude, we gotta get stricter about this shit, dude. We gotta.
Nobody said you could just fucking leave DS9. Who the fuck said you could do that?
Yeah.
Fucking, you didn't even tell anyone we left.
It's fine. They lost track of Deanna again. She wasn't even in this episode.
Yeah. Deanna was no help to anybody at DS9 or the TNG. Nothing, dude.
Yeah. Well,
one thing I learned is that there are no war crimes.
Yeah.
I thought that another version of this that would have been a lot less of a moral quandary, but more of an action thing would have been if you wanted to make it way more of a perpetuate the cycle of violence sort of a thing.
Ooh.
It would have been fun if it turned out that Tokath had secretly intentionally spared the Klingons as a form of torture.
Oh shit.
And cultural subjugation.
Like he knew how to manipulate. He knew
what he would be doing to them and just playing nice like on the surface.
Oh, that would have been so vindictive and evil.
And then teach the Klingons to have an uprising against him. And then that would have been true to like the warrior side of Klingon culture, but it also would have not had the racial allegory bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it just wasn't, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it accomplishes what like it's clearly, even without knowing what movies are trying to reference or had thought about, it was clearly trying to be metaphorical about something, but because it's so disparate, it ends up being just a general weird Klingon Romulan story.
Yeah, I think they wanted to, kind of in the spirit of other DS9 episodes we've seen, it's kind of like they wanted to present the messiness of a situation, but it's a little more clumsy in this case, I feel.
Yeah.
What I do like most about this episode, though, is that beyond the weirdness about the specifics of Klingon culture, I like the thought-provoking prospect of the notion of like a clean cut from a long-standing blood-entangled generational hatred.
Yeah, which they never really explored.
Right. Well. And that's a very fascinating concept to me, because it's always like fascinating to think about like, well, what if you could actually, decouple yourself from the history of things, which in reality is quite impossible. And that's always the problem, because history and facts and events that have occurred and relationships that entangled with each other, real grievances that occurred, can't all get replaced wholesale at once.
And the other thing is that like it seemed a bit shallow as to why they got along suddenly.
Yes, that is true, because it's not like presumably many of the original prisoners were still there and alive, right?
Yeah.
And they were just like, this is fine. This is cool.
Yeah. There's no like anger about it. Also, Tokath himself, inexplicably is like, it's implied it's because he fell in love with the Klingon. But is that enough for him to have given up his entire life to protect all Klingons in his care.
And you're also now reminding me of how defeated For Loco was. In that, if he is supposed to be like the representative of the Klingon attitude of the prisoners who were there originally, like it really feels like bullshit in the end when they're like, what have we done to our kids? You know, the dishonor about our families back home, but we didn't think about our kids here. And it's like, how could you not think about your kids here? You're hanging your heads in shame constantly over your very existence.
Yeah.
And like, how could you dare to have children?
Yeah.
That's also true. Yeah. They thought, well, let's do this long term. Let's grow a society. You know, like
you know what I think is also that I think that they should have said, if they really wanted to build a society that was they could have been like, we're gonna raise them like Worfians, but without the racism. They could have done that and have their the same traditions that they were. You know what I mean? They could have. Yeah. They could have incorporated more, but they were all of a sudden they're pacifists. They're like, oh
yeah, and they completely lie about what's going on. Like one thing we glossed over is that like they lied to the children and claim there's still a war going on. There's still a war going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Like imagine teaching your children, disgraced as you are, hey, you're safe here away from the war. We Klingons are safe away from the war. How does that track as a believable like way for them to live? Considering what we know.
Considering how they were, like, how can you care about the honor part of dying in battle, but then not care about the honor part of wanting to fight in battle? They discarded part of it, but not. I get a lot of it as a contrivance to make the scenario possible, but the whole episode is grappling with that, and that's why it doesn't really function. That's So well. Let's what do you guys think of scores? What scores are you guys thinking?
I think I'm landing on a 6 here.
I'm going with a 7.
I agree. I'm a 7 as well. Yeah. I think there's enough character wise, but it's
7 as well.
Yeah.
7.
I think it's
funny shit.
I think it's a bit repetitive, and I think it's just messy. It doesn't work together allegorically very well. If we're going to our Discord's rating, our Discord landed on a 6. So
okay,
yeah.
So Discord clocked me.
You know, they kind of know us well now. I feel like being off by 1 point is not bad.
Yeah, and Dan was a 6.
Yeah, they clocked me.
Yeah, so
clocked me good.
It's one of those things. I actually don't remember if Birthright is a beloved episode or not. I think it's not. I think it's remembered okay.
Seem like it should be, but then again, it is like a very big Klingon culture episode. So
and
it's also a big Worf episode. So maybe they're fans of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we kind of all landed on the same thing. It's kind of different reasons, but it's a little underwhelming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. If you liked our discussion of Birthright Part 2, wherever you are, give us a like or a review or a rating or a comment wherever you are. It'd be cool. And also, you can check out our merch store. In fact, by the time this episode comes out, our newest piece of merch will have been out, which is our new hoodie. I know a lot of people have been asking, because our original t-shirt designs were kind of in jokes, and people were like, can you just put your logo on something? And I was like, okay, but I kind of would like it if we did a little something nicer. So instead, it's a hoodie where the logo is embroidered on, like it's a patch. So it's a lot fancier. It's a lot nicer. You can check that out at fugitiveframes.store. And yeah, you can check out the hoodie plus the t-shirts there. And also, if you guys want to get early access to new episodes, access to our members only Discord, etc., you can check out our YouTube membership that'll give you access to that stuff. Yeah, just head on over to our YouTube channel, join the channel, become a member. That'd be cool. If you guys would like to check out other stuff we do, you can head on over to fugitiveframes.com, one of which is our Would You Stay Tuned podcast. So what have we done lately? We did Interview with the Vampire. Penguin.
Yeah, we're doing Penguin.
Yeah.
And before that was Pluto.
We're actually going to do a Penguin recap. By the time this episode comes out, that might be out too. And yeah, after that, Ricardo said he wanted us to do Utopia. So we can get in on some Utopia action as well. All right. Yeah. Well, next time on Newbie Star Trek, we actually take a little trip back to DS9 with an episode called Move Along Home, which is,
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. I thought you were going to say Move Along Ho, maybe? But then you said Ho.
Move along, Ho.
More like the, move, bitch, get out the way.
I thought you were like,
bitch, get out the way.
Or move along, little doggy,
Yeah. I don't know, because you were like, move along, home.
So yeah, Move Along Home. If any listener knows what this episode is, yes, we know, or I know. They will know soon. But yeah, that's what we're gonna watch next week. But thanks for listening.
So this is one of those titles I keep hearing.
Yeah, so we'll watch it next time. Until then,
we'll see.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Later, y'all.
Catch you next time.
Fucking hate fusion.
And take care of yourselves.
Yeah,
or don't. It's up to you. Now the gloves are off, dude. All bets are off. Let that cholesterol go up. It's gonna be a wild 4 years, dude. Let yourself have some fun. Yeah, let loose, dude.
Let loose.
All right.
Get yourself some sweatpants.